Hey guys. We're here with Golf Wars featuring Mitch Snyder and Bryce. How you boys doing?
Couldn't be
Doing
better.
all right.
Yeah. You're wearing the same fucking hat. One white, one black.
It's a dope hat.
Have you guys gotten hockey jerseys yet from Sabre?
Yeah.
Mine just came in. It's
Does it say JVC?
Yeah, it says JVC, and it is number 69.
I love that.
Yeah, so
that's perfect.
Snyder, what number is yours?
28.
28. Okay. Bryce still haven't gotten his yet, I guess.
No, mine hasn't come in. It could be in my mailroom. I don't look at
It's probably in your mailroom. Mine was in the mailbox or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we have a mailbox. I never really checked the mailbox. So
mine was in the mailbox as well.
So maybe I should go do that after the show.
Number 69. What are we? 12? No. I'm 35. But yeah.
35 going on 11.
Yeah.
In terms of his sense of humor.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no. I mean, I'm excited to talk about the Memorial here. I mean, it's one of the bigger tournaments of the year, theoretically. I mean, I hate Jack Nicklaus, but it's an elevated event. We get a significantly improved field based on normal. It's kind of crazy to see a field of the quote unquote best golfers in the world where Tommy Fleetwood is the fourth favorite. But, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Snyder, you got any initial thoughts on the tournament before we really dig into it?
No, I actually just really like this course. He usually plays pretty tough, especially after the renovation. Jack's going to have this place playing tough. There's reports that the rough could be like upwards of 4 inches in some areas. The greens are going to be rolling
upwards
at around
of 4 inches.
Yeah. Not too bad.
7.5 hard?
I think we're going to see a winning score probably around 7 to 10 under this week.
Okay. Around 6.9, Bryce?
I mean, it's like Scotty and everyone else type of week. I mean, when you're plus 280, the discussion kind of starts and ends with you. I do like what they did with the pricing this week, other than another guy up top, but it kind of plays like a no cut, like these elevated events. Like obviously there's a cut, but you can play like pretty aggressively with like some cheap guys.
It is. I mean, it's a cut this week. It wasn't the past few.
Yeah. I do like these small cut events because you can kind of play it super aggressively. Like, so, I mean, we can get into the Scotty discussion here. I don't want to be under on him. And I think he comes in at 40%? To me, sounds about right. So I'll probably try and be about half Scotty is kind of what I'm thinking. If you want to play it more aggressively, I would rather jam him than fade him this week personally.
Snyder, do you share that opinion?
Yeah, I think I'll probably be around 70% on Scotty. You just look at his form coming in compared to some of these other guys, his form coming in at the top, like Xander, JT, Morikawa, Cantlay, and Fleetwood. I mean, I feel like the win equity for Scotty, especially the top 5 equity, is minus 175. He's minus 350 to even top 10. And you look at some of the win equity Xander still isn't fully back from the injury. He should be there in the top 20, you would think. Fleetwood's always in the top 20. He can't win. Cantlay's been up and down. You look at what JT's done at this course too. He was really good here before they renovated it, but these new greens that they put in, I mean, he has been atrocious on these greens the last 3 years, and he's only gotten worse on these greens the last 3 years as well. I think he lost just over 3 strokes putting last year, like 3.5, and then 2.5 before that. So, I mean, I just don't feel like there's as much. I think Scotty could be like legitimately priced like $14K in this event with some of the values we've got down there. So I think he's underpriced in this, and I think the win equity and the top 5 equity he has over the rest of the guys in this top tier is so much better. So I'm going to probably be like 70%, if not fully locking Scotty this week.
I'm going to disagree with you guys a little bit. I don't think there's a whole lot going on at the bottom. Beyond, your 6,800 Bud Colley, your 6,800 Michael Kim, I think the bottom is pretty bad. and so I'm less likely to go like heavy on Scotty just because I don't think there's a whole like if I was playing one team, sure you can find it, but with 150, it's hard to find a series of diverse lineups that really don't look fucking terrible with Scotty being 60-70%. Like, yeah, you can play the teams that are, three guys in the 70s and Bud and Scheffler, but beyond that, like I don't want to be playing a ton of your, Brian Campbell, Jonathan Vegas, Cameron Davis, Cameron Young, Tom Hoagie, Tagala. Like I don't want to play these guys very much. And so when you get into the 60-70% range on Scotty, you end up with a lot more of those guys than you would want. So I'm much more likely to lean into Morikawa at 9,900, considering he's only 15-1, whereas Scotty, is plus 280. And it's a very fair price on him. And I know everybody hates Morikawa, but I do like that a lot. But we'll go into the next sequence of players. We'll start with the conversation around Xander alone because he's at 10,900, so that's significantly higher than both he should be and everybody else in the field is, other than Scotty. Snyder, are you playing Xander at all, or are you just getting rid of him? You're muted. You're muted.
But I think Xander's pretty good play in like single entry or something like that. I think he'll be like really low owned in like single entries and stuff. He's still got, we've seen what he's done over the years. He was top 10 here last year. He's got the game sets up well for him, but I think I'm going to lean more into Morikawa there too. He's not in the best of form right now. I think this is like one of the spots that he can kind of regain his format in this spot. We've seen him finish runner-up at this event twice, and then he withdrew in 23 with back spasms. But through 3 rounds, he was right there. I think he was T5 heading into Sunday, then had to withdraw. So that kind of looks bad with the WD there, but he potentially could have even won that event. He won the workday here, the COVID year, so he has a win on this track. I like Morikawa. I think this course is just built for him. He kind of plays similar to how Jack did. Jack hit that power fade a lot. Morikawa hits a really good fade shot, so this course kind of sets up for his game. I think this is a great spot where he can kind of get back on track, and he's 9,900, 1K less than Xander, and he's got better odds than about 5 points, 6 points better odds than anyone else in this range. So the markets definitely are agreeing with Morikawa, kind of breaking out here. So I'm going to go Morikawa will be my next highest owned guy in this range. I think Xander's fine for tournaments. I'll probably steer clear of JT. He's going to be my sell. I think he's still going to get a decent amount of ownership, but I really worry about him on these greens like he's been the last 3 years. And he's been so streaky this whole year. I know he won the RBC Heritage, that dive track there. He was T2 at the Truist and then just looked really bad at the PGA. He battled there, but I think I'm going to be selling JT. I'd play Xander over him, and I like Morikawa the best. Cantlay and Fleetwood are going to get talked up. I think Fleetwood's like a good like cash game play if you wanted to go more even in cash or something like that. Fleetwood should most likely finish top 10 here. He was T20 here last year, and he's got 3 top 7s in his last 3 starts. I think Fleetwood is just a good, strong play. Ludwig looks broken to me at the moment. I think he's got 1 top 40 in his last 6 events that he's played. It's been a combination of bad iron play mixed with bad putting, just depending on the event for him there. I'll just finish out with this 9K.
Can I ask you something about Ludwig?
Yeah.
So he was coming off the injury heading into those tournaments. Do you think that it's still affecting him?
He could definitely still be hampered by that injury. The bad thing about PGA is you're never going to get an injury report. He could be battling something and you don't even know it. He's just trying to gut it out and trying to find it. This is a spot where, we saw the high finish at the Masters there. He was 7th at the Masters. This is kind of Jack's ode to Augusta, so it's kind of built similar to that. So I could see him having success here. If he's going to be like super low, and I think he's worth a sprinkle though for sure.
Price?
I think Morikawa is by far the best play here. He's the cheapest and he has the best odds. As Snyder said, his game should suit the course pretty well. And he's cheap enough to where you can play Scotty and him together and not like it's a doable combo. Like you get 6,700 per golfer, so you're not like totally tanking the rest of your team. I prefer him to these other guys. JT would probably be my least favorite. I never play him, and I played him, and I instantly regretted it. And that's not something I really want to do. Xander, I mean, he's just so price restrictive. Like it's really hard for me not to just find the extra 2K and get up to like a Scotty. Like I like these guys in the 9Ks a good amount more, especially Morikawa. I think Fleetwood is good. I don't think he's like a world beater or anything, but just based on his price, I'd say he's my second favorite behind Morikawa here. And I think Cantlay is playable. I much prefer all of these guys to Aberg. Just not someone I really want to be buying on right now. He is down to 9,300, which I do think, I mean, it makes him viable and absolutely no one's going to play him, but I still prefer, I'd much prefer the 100 to get up to Fleetwood or the 400 to get up to Morikawa.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly agree with you guys. Morikawa is absolutely the best play in this range. Fleetwood would be next, which I think most everybody's going to agree with. After that, you're looking at Connors, Aubert, Matsuyama, Cantlay, JT, Schauffele. I don't really have a strong opinion between any of them. I think that the leverage here is by getting an advantage through, low ownership, as you spoke about. So if Aubert is going to be the low guy, then you kind of want to get in on him. But, I'm between 10 and 15 on basically everybody in this range other than Morikawa and Fleetwood, who I am 20 to 25. And I think they are the best plays in this range. So we're all pretty much in unison here. We'll go down to the 8Ks next, from Hovland down to Keegan Bradley. Bryce, we'll start with you. Favorite play in the 8Ks. How do you feel about this range? How are you treating it?
So, I think my favorite play here is definitely Victor Hovland. At a ball strikers type of course, this is kind of the course where I really do want to play Hovland. His putting is always an issue, but it's going to be super tough out there, and I think that his game is kind of built for a place like this. So Hovland, I want to have a buy, and say you're pairing him with Scotty, you have about 7K for the rest of your team. That's definitely doable. So I think this is kind of the range where I would really start to dig into if I'm playing Scheffler, and in teams I'm not playing Scheffler, these guys can obviously fill out your team decently well here. I think Berger's a solid play. I know we've been talking him up for weeks on the show since we started doing it, and I'm going to continue to be a buyer on Daniel Berger. Spieth, I never really play Spieth. I think the argument that could be made for him, he can scramble well when he does get into trouble, and you are going to get into trouble here. But I would much rather play guys like Berger, Hovland, even Lowry or Henley than Spieth here. So Hovland's my favorite play in this range.
Mitch?
Yeah, I agree. Hovland's a guy I definitely don't want to be under on. I don't know if I'm going to get super overweight on him just because the short game just scares the shit out of me. But, the approach play from Hovland has just been absolutely the last couple of months. He's right there. The two guys below him there, too. Aside from Scotty, Sepp and Lowry are the numbers 2 and 3. When you look at strokes gain approach over the last 36 rounds, their iron game has been really good too. You got to worry about Sepp with the short game. He's really struggled around the green, and then Lowry can have a bad putter here and there. But both of those guys have been really good. with the approach play, and they've had some high finishes over the last month too. So, and last year Sepp was a T5 here. He went T16, T5 in his last 2 trips here. So I'm pretty high on Sepp there. He won that Truist and then miscut the PGA Championship. I think we can give him a break for missing that cut off the win. I don't think that's going to bother me at all. So I'm gonna be probably over on Sepp. Berger just really worries me. I mean, he's been great from a ball striking standpoint, just absolutely flawless from a ball striking standpoint for the most part. But then when you look at the putter from him the last 4 events, I mean, he's lost 1.2, 1.2, 2.3, 4.3 strokes putting. I mean, the putter is getting worse every week over the last 4 weeks. So he's definitely got some issues there with the putter. That kind of bothers me there with him. So I'll probably be under on Berger there. But I think if he can find the putter, I mean, the ball striking has been great. So if he can somehow putt to a 0, he could be right there in the top 5, top 10. But the putter definitely worries me. Spieth's fine. I've been off of Henley the last few weeks, so I'm going to probably go away from him too. He's got bad odds compared to other guys cheaper than him. Siwoo is one of my favorite plays on the board, I think. I've got him in my core over on the side. I mean, he's been very good at this track. T15 the last 4 years here. And he's coming off some strong outings there as well. He was T30 last week, top 10 at the PGA Championship, top 20 at the Elevated Truist, top 15 at the CJ, and he was T8 at RBC Heritage in another elevated event. So I think Siwoo as one of the better setups here too. The putter is always a little wishy-washy with Siwoo, but I think we can have good certainty with him here. He's gained with the putter the last 2 weeks after losing a few weeks in a row. So I think Siwoo is one of my favorite plays on the slate, 8,300. He's got good win odds too. He's right up there with Sepp and Hideki for win odds and Lowry. So Siwoo is one of my favorites. Finau's got some upside. He can go there. He's off back-to-back top 20s. He had a top 10 here in his last trip here. And then Keegan. Keegan's always a good tournament play. The putter with Keegan, it's always hit or miss with him, but that's what makes him a great volatile GPP play. So I think Keegan's a really good play at 8K as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of more with Bryce here. I think Hovland is the either the best or the second best player in this range. You know, with it being a ball striker's course.
Yeah.
I really don't worry about his around the green game too much because a lot of the guys are going to struggle if they fucking miss the green altogether as opposed to hitting it. Same for Daniel Berger, 8,600. Again, if you hit it down the middle, you're going to be in a position to win, even if your putter's not quite as on point as some of the other guys. I want the guy that's fucking, hitting it straight down the fucking middle of the fairway long. So Berger and Hovland are my 2 favorite guys in this range. After that, as you mentioned, Siwoo Kim, elite play. I think he's going to be very chalky. I think that everybody realizes how good he is off the tee with the irons. He's a strong player, and I think it's taken a long time for the field to realize that. But this week, they're gonna realize it. After that, I'm not as interested in your Finau, Sung JM, your Henleys, like Lowry. I don't like them nearly as much. I like Keegan at 8K just because of the price. But beyond that, yeah, Hovland and Berger and Siwoo Kim would be my top 3 in this range. We'll move into the 7Ks. We'll go just the whole 7K range. Why not? Snyder, we'll start with you. What are you liking here? What are you hating here? What's going on?
Yeah, it kind of seems like Denny is a little overpriced at 7,900, but I think he's a great play. I'll be overweight on Denny. He can make a lot of putts. He hits the ball straight, so he should be a pretty solid. He was runner-up here. I think he lost in a playoff to Hovland, I think, in 23. He was runner-up, and he was T5 in 22 here as well. So he's got good course history as well. And a guy I've been playing the last 3 or 4 events is Sam Burns. I've jumped back on Sam Burns. He's been solid the last 4 weeks. He's got a T10 and a T5 in 2 of his last 3 starts. And I like the setup for him here. I mean, it's been all putter with him. The irons can get a little wonky. He's been good off the tee. It's just the irons have been hit or miss for him, but the dude can just make putts from everywhere. And then you look at what he's done here. T15, T16 his last 2 trips. Putted the lights out both times here and hit the irons good. And it was good off the tee here last year as well. So I think Sam Burns is a solid play. See where his ownership's going to be. I think he's going to be under 10% too. So that makes him even more likable for me in tournaments. Harris English doesn't have the best course history here, but he's been playing some solid golf. I was kind of looking for Harris to be more in the lower 7Ks, but 7,800, it's fine. I guess you want to get there. Bobby Mack is a guy that can get hot at times. He's coming off the T6 last week. He's a guy that could get hot here. Matt McNeely is kind of on the downhill climb. I mean, he was really good there for a while. Even got inside the top 10 of the world golf rankings, but the last couple of weeks he's kind of struggled. I think he's still fine. I mean, Aaron Rye, I think he's one of the best plays on the board. Really good price tag here, 7,600 for Rye. And he's right up there with Scotty, just 1 stroke back, but he's really close, like in second or third strokes gained tee to green last 36 rounds. So Aaron Rye's got some good starts. I think he's a really good play here. And then JT Poston, I've been playing him the last couple of months. He's just a really good value here, 7,600. So I'll be overweight on JT. He's got decent odds as well. And then the guy that's kind of been creeping up the board, he would have been a soldier if I wouldn't have done it yesterday. But Spawn, I like JJ Spawn here as well. The odds have been moving his way too. He's right up there with Keegan as far as win odds off the top 6 last week. Had a good top 17 at the Elevated Truist as well, and has some form here at this course. Hasn't played it in a while, but he's fine. Probably won't get to Homa. I haven't been playing him at all this year. Norn's come back from the injury, and he looks solid. He was T22 here last year. Has a couple of strong finishes in 2 of his last 3 events. So I think Norn's fine at 7,400. I'm not going to play Minwoo. I like some of the other guys better than him. Akshay's fine for upside. Adam Scott, I like Adam Scott to be the top Aussie here. He's coming off the top 10 in his last event. Has some good showings here as well. T9 in his last trip here and T16 as well. So I think Adam Scott's fine. And then Andrew Novak's a soldier. I mean, I've been playing Novak pretty much the whole year. I'm just not going to get away from him at 7,100. I think he should be. I think him and Harris English could almost be swapped in price tags there at 7,800 or so. So I think Andrew Novak's just too mispriced here. He's been great around the green. He's been pretty good across the board as well. Has the win, has a second, has a top 30 in his last 6 starts, and he comes off the T11 off the miscut the PGA Championship. So he rebounded well last week. So I think Novak's a great play as well. Then Jaeger's fine if you want to go there. I think he's a guy you can have in the pool, and Ricky could have some upside as well. He's off the couple good finishes in his 2 of his last 3 events.
Price.
So when I'm looking at this range, I kind of Scotty Weeks. I always end up living in this range just because you're getting a much better golfer than you get in general in the 6Ks. I think that's slightly less true this week just because there are some 6K plays I like, but in general, this is a range I'm always hammering. Denny, I think, is one of the best plays on the boards or on the board. I like him a ton here. Sam Burns, you definitely get an ownership discount with Denny, Keegan, and these other guys right around here. I don't mind him. Ben Griffin, not really a player that I want to be buying on here.
I think he'll get a lot of ownership out.
Exactly. Not to be like, oh, well, he just won, so you can't play him type of deal. But, he's priced up a bit to what you would expect, and I do think he gets steamed a lot here. So I'm likely going to be under the field on him. Harris English, I do like here. Want to be over him. Mav, don't have a lot of interest in him. Bobby Mack, I have some interest in. Aaron Rye, I have a lot of interest in. We've been talking up Aaron Rye on the show for a while now, and I don't see any reason to go away from him at 7,600. I think there's going to be a premium on, his game, which is, finding fairways and hitting greens. If you can do that here, you're going to do very well. just because it's going to be a very tough test to golf. So I really like Rye. Where else? I lost my place here for a second. The Poston, I think, is a great play as well. I do prefer Rye to him, but I like them. I like them a lot at the same price. Homa, no thanks. Noren has been surprisingly good, and the stats back that up. I don't think these are like fluke finishes. So
I think a lot of these Euro Tour guys, that hit it down the middle, course favors.
Yeah, I didn't really think that, like, when I looked at this field that I would like Noren as much as I do. He's not like my favorite play in the range or anything, but I think he's a guy that you want exposure to and is likely going to be a buy for me. Minwoo, not super high on. Akshay, Pendrith, Clark, kind of the same deal. It gets a little weak in like the mid sevens here, like the low mid sevens here, until you get to like the Novak range. I think Novak's one of the best plays of the week, and his ownership is definitely going to reflect that. I actually didn't talk about Spawn. I love JJ Spawn this week. It's because he's in my team, so he wasn't on the DraftKings list as I was going down. I mean, I've been buying Spawn all year. I'm not going to stop buying him here. I think he's a really solid golfer for 7,500, and I should have a good amount of him. After Novak, I don't think there's tons to love here. Don't love Harbin. Benny Ann, I think you can make a case for. Ricky Fowler, I hate to say it, I think he has a bit of upside here. I didn't think that I would ever be touting Ricky Fowler in 2015, but he's going to come in super low owned, and I am going to have a bit of or 2025. I mean, shit, he was probably better in 2015.
He definitely was.
Yeah, but I don't think he's the worst play this week. Thompson and Jaeger I would prefer Jaeger. I should be over the field on Jaeger here. And yeah, I like the 7K range a good amount.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, I'll just start by saying I totally agree with you on Ricky Fowler. I think he's a good play this week. Like, I like Ricky Fowler. He's in my core for showdown for round one with the early tee time. So I do like him on this course. He's played well here before, and I think he can again. Best play in this range to me is Aaron Rye, as we've discussed. With the tee to green, his ability that with the two gloves giving him superpowers. He's very good tee to green, and that's what you need here. And I really like him. After that, it would be, as Snyder and you both discussed, Andrew Novak. He's just crushing. His form has been incredible. He should be priced up about 1,000 more. So I definitely love Andrew Novak. After that, Denny McCarthy up at 7,900. He's played well here before, and I'm willing to go back to him again. Beyond that, JT Poston, JJ Spawn, 7,600, 7,500. They would be the next two best plays in this range. After that, I don't have a ton of interest in many people other than Snyder's aforementioned Sam Burns up at 7,900. I think it's definitely worth including in your pool. We'll go down to the dregs, 69 to the bottom. Bryce, what do you like on the bullshit guys, and how much of them are you playing? Mute.
Yeah, I was thinking. Give me a second. How best to phrase this? I don't think they're as bullshit as they normally are. I mean, it's a small cut. I think there's some quality players in this range, and I think that through talking it out, I want to jam the top end a little bit more than you do in general. So, you kind of need to dumpster dive a little bit more when you're doing that. So I like Bays. I think he's a very solid play this week.
Can you pronounce his last name for us?
Bezadenhout.
That's
good.
I think that was right.
Yeah, I think it's right.
Yeah.
Golf's. I watch a lot of golf, so I would hope that I can get that one right. Rat Poison himself. I like him this week.
Poison himself.
Sahith, I think has a bit of upside. I like Bays more. Mac Hughes, I think that absolutely no one's going to play him after his cut at the PGA when everyone was on him.
He keeps it straight.
What's up?
I said he keeps it straight. Like,
Yeah,
I like him.
I'm saying I like him. I'm saying
Yeah,
I think
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, good. I think that no one's gonna play him after he missed the cut at the Players, and then he missed the cut again last week at Charles Schwab. So I don't mind him. I think Michael Kim is okay. My favorite play at 6.8 is our guy at RPS, Bud Cauley. Bud's been playing great golf. I don't think that anyone can deny that. I mean, look at his last finishes: top 6, top 4, top 5, or tied for 5, 32nd, 72nd, and 3rd solo. I mean, is he not too cheap here? I think 6,800 for Bud is like, at least 500 too cheap. I think he's a really strong golfer. Cameron Young himself, I don't hate. Gerard, I think is playable. I think he might get steamed a little bit, but he's in my pool. Grazerman's in my pool. Stevens Cole, I think are okay here. Detry, super high variance, not gonna be very high on him, but he's cheap. He makes the pool for me. The guy I think is super underpriced. Like when you get to the 65 and 100 and unders is Glover. I like him at ball striking courses like this. Like you've seen him come play hard golf courses well because he hits it straight.
U.S. Open winner.
And he finds greens. Yeah. I mean, I think that if the course plays as hard as we think it's going to play this week, I think you need to like Lucas Glover because his game does suit these conditions well. After him, I kind of think the quality of golfer kind of drops off a cliff here a bit. I'm trying to stay away from like the super low 6s, but guys that are in my pool that I envision using here would be here. I wrote this down before the show because I know I was going to say this.
Joe Highsmith.
Yeah, in no particular order. I don't hate Cooch, Cam Davis, Hoagie, Joe Highsmith is my highest owned, and those would be like my 4 or 5 favorite ones in this range. I think Vegas and Hoagie are playable as well.
Snyder.
Yeah, I think there are some playable guys down here. Looking at the top here, I'm right there with Bryce. I think Seabez is one of the better plays up here. You look at his course history here. He was 4th last year and had a couple of decent finishes. Besides that, has putted really well here in the last couple of years as well, and comes off a T16 last week. His one of the more accurate guys off the tee as well over the last 36 rounds. So I think Bez is fine. Bud Cauley is a soldier once again this week. I think I've had him in there like 3 or 4 times, and they don't raise his price. I think he's underpriced here as well. I think he should be like at least mid 7Ks. So I'll be jamming Cauley in again. He's actually earned everything he's gotten this year. I mean, he came back with nothing, and he got to this event, I believe, off the Aon 10 or something like that. So earned his way into this elevated event. So I like him. Not really on Michael Kim. I've heard some talk about him, but I worry about his game here. Mackenzie Hughes is fine if you want to go there. I don't think he'll be that highly owned, so I don't think it'll take much to get to him. 3 missed cuts his last 4 trips here and 3 missed cuts in his last 4 events, but definitely has great upside for tournaments. Ryan Gerard is the guy I'll have in the pool. I've been playing him quite a bit over the last couple of months. I think he's fine. Gracerman, I mean, he bombs it off the tee. I just don't feel like he's got the accuracy to kind of contend here. So I'll probably be off of Gracerman. Cameron Young, same thing. He's going to bomb it, but he's only hitting 44% of his fairways last 36 rounds. So that worries me with Cameron Young. Probably be off of him. Eric Cole, I think Eric Cole's fine. I could see him finishing T30 or something at this event again. So I'll have some Eric Cole. He was T25 here in 23. So Eric Cole's played decent here. 6,600. You don't need that much from him, I don't think. And then I think Glover could play well, like Bryce was saying. Nick Taylor was T30 here last year, has a couple of decent finishes there at the Truist. He was T17 and then T12 in that team event as well. Missed a cut at the PGA Championship. That's fine. And I think Matty Schmidt is going to get a decent amount of ownership here, and I think that's my sell down here. Yeah, he's got some good finishes, but you look at the courses he's played well at. He was at the Charles Schwab, kind of an easier course. Myrtle Beach, easier course. The Punta Cana, easier course. This place is going to play much tougher, and he's only hitting the fairway at a 52% rate over the last 36 rounds. So I think Matty Schmidt could have some trouble here. I know the putter's been absolutely on fire for him, but I think this could be a trouble spot for him. So I'll probably be selling Schmidt there if he's going to get some ownership. Kuchar hits the fairways a lot. He's had decent finishes here. T33 last year. He's fine if you want to add him to the pool. Austin Eckroyd hits a lot of fairways. I mean, that's pretty thin there. A lot of these guys are pretty thin. I mean, Brian Campbell down here, he hits a ton of fairways. Last 36 rounds, he's hitting where did he go? Hitting 65% of his fairways last 36 rounds. And the iron play has been great for him. It's just up and down with the short game. I think Campbell is not horrible. I think you could have a splash of him down here. But I don't really like many of these other guys down here. Johnny Vegas just doesn't hit enough fairways for me here. And he struggles with the putter as well. So I probably won't be on him.
Yeah, my favorite guys in this range pretty much align with what you guys were talking about. Number one, Bud Cauley. I don't think it's particularly close. Bud Cauley's the best play on the board by a significant margin outside of range. He should be 1,000, 1,500 higher. So I really love Bud Cauley. He's in my main team. I'm playing him a lot. Beyond him, Michael Kim, great off the tee. Good long iron player, in his own words, the best long iron player on tour. So I do like him on this course. I think it fits him well, despite the slander from Snyder there.
He currently ranks 101st, proximity 200 and plus.
So beyond him, Bazay Newt is at 6,900. I love as well. As Bryce spoke on, I like him for all the same reasons. Mac Hughes, 6,800, hits the ball fucking straight. Everybody's going to be down on him, could get very low ownership. I do like him. And digging into the bottom a little bit, we spoke on Lucas Glover. I think everybody's going to be on Lucas Glover. So I do like him at 6,500. Nick Taylor, similar game. I do like him also at 6,500. And then down in the absolute piece of shit bottom toilet bowl, Joe Highsmith, I fucking hate you, but you're the guy down here at 6,100. So now we'll go into pick 6.
How much Nick Dunlap for you, JBC?
Say what?
How much Nick Dunlap for you?
Oh, I went 0 on Dunlap and Snedeker. Those were the only two. So let me get into my share screen here. You can see my $82 balance. Bryce, we'll start with you. What do you think about pick 6 this week?
Here, one sec. Pick 6 is taking a second to load for me.
Or Snyder. Whichever one he wants to fucking go after it.
What are we going to do? Finishing position or hole?
Either one.
Anything you can bet.
Anything you can bet, Snyder. Come on now.
Let's go. I'm just looking at these holes completed. Some of these.
Holes completed. There's some good ones.
Yeah. Oh, you can't take under on a couple of them now.
Yeah, a lot of them. You pretty much can't take under on any of them.
Yeah, none.
I wanted to take under on what Snedeker and Dunlap. Like
Yeah,
Mark said, I don't want anything to do
Yeah,
with those guys.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to keep fading Homa. We're going worse than 28.5. Fuck that guy.
Okay, so we're going Max Homa, worse than 28.5. Mitch.
I'm gonna go Siwoo Kim better than 21.5.
Okay. I am going to go with Morikawa better than 14.5. And then Bryce.
Where are my guys? I like Spawn better than 27.5.
Spawn better than 27.5. Mitch.
I'm gonna go Scotty Scheffler better than 3.5.
Oh,
Scotty Scheffler better than 3.5. And then I will finish with Andrew Novak better than 29.5.
Yeah, I like that.
You'll get at least 20-1 if you get all 6 correct. Go ahead and submit that. I'll post it on Twitter. Yeah. So, any final? Let's go to our favorite futures bets of the week as far as to win the tournament. Snyder, what's your favorite?
I'm gonna go to a winner without market. I'm gonna go Siwoo Kim 33-1. Winner without Scotty, Xander, Colin, and JT.
Bryce?
We've been doing these winner without Scotty markets, and I think it's pretty solid. I'll give a couple long shots I like here. Bud Cauley 100-1 without Scotty Scheffler. I think he has upside to finish top 5 here, and if you can beat Scotty, or if you can beat everyone but Scotty, I think that's plausible here. And then a slightly better one, Aaron Rai 50-1 winner without Scotty.
Right,
there's that one market I mentioned in chat earlier. Ludwig Aberg on Camby is -110 to finish T30, and he's -225, I think, on DK.
Very nice, very nice. I am going to go with Andrew Novak plus 6,000 on DraftKings. Elite tee to green. Let's get after it. Hey, I appreciate you guys logging in and watching. Good luck, everybody, and we'll see you later.